So when I was 5 years old, we moved to Canada from England. My mom and my dad separated, so my dad stayed in England and we came to Canada. And my mom had a pretty rough childhood. Her way of dealing with that she turned to drugs, and so all throughout kind of elementary school into junior high, she was pretty heavy into her drug addiction. It was really messy. My mom had gotten into a lot of abusive relationships as well. And so there was some violence that we saw. We did do like a brief stint in a foster home as well. So just a lot of moving around, a lot of never knowing like what was gonna happen. And then my mom had a friend, for some reason, I don't know why, she ended up taking us to church. And the Sunday school teacher of the church like just took it upon herself to like pick us up, me and my sisters, every Sunday, and like would take us to church every Sunday for years, like all of elementary school into junior high. But home life and church life were very different. We'd go to church on Sunday and like put smiles on our faces and just pretend we were these good Christian kids, and then come home and life was just a mess. Around junior high, me, my sisters and I and the kids in our neighborhood, that's when we started like drinking and doing drugs. It was a good way for me to really check out. So after high school, honestly, as soon as I could move out of the house, I did. And so it was really easy for me to just fall into whatever anyone else was doing, because I didn't have like enough of me to say no or even come up with a reason why I wouldn't. It was like, yeah, like let's go drink, let's go do drugs, let's do whatever, because I didn't have like a sense of who I was, and so I would just do whatever anyone else was doing, and that was good enough for me. But really, it was hurting me so bad, and I remember going through this phase of just like crying on my kitchen floor and just being so hurt and so broken. And I was thinking like, you know, I've lived all these years, but I am still the same, even worse off now because of like the choices that I was making. And I knew that there was a better way of living. I knew that there would be, like, I didn't have to live in the fear and the guilt and the shame, because I knew God was there and I believed in him. And I just had to make my way back to him and actually follow him. After kind of having those like nights on the floor where I'd bawl my eyes out and just feel so lost and helpless, I knew that I needed to change. And my mom had actually ended up moving a couple blocks away from Celebration Church. I think this was around 2016. And I was like, I'm gonna go check out that church. And as soon as I walked in the building, I instantly loved it. Like the energy, the worship, I'm always super connected to worship. And I just loved all of that. The message was so good. I knew, I was like, this is the place that I have to be. I took the Next Steps class and I started volunteering, and I got more like involved in the church. And that's when I really learned how to follow God. God really like revealed to me the things that I had taken in as a kid, and just all that fear and, you know, all the words that were spoken over me. And he really kind of showed me how to like break free from those. All the other things that I was doing just fell away. Like I had zero desire to do drugs. I had zero desire to drink. None of that made any sense to me at all anymore. And I really did like change my association as well. And I think God brought in a new association that had like, you know, just had such strong values, and they lived out their values. And just seeing the example that they set, just knowing that I didn't want to be the same person that I was. You know, I didn't want to keep making the same decisions I was making and just living the way I was living. And there was a new way to live. And I knew that I wanted to live for God. I wanted to follow him. I wanted his values and his standard to be mine. I really felt like now is the time to get baptized. And so that's kind of, when I guess rededicated my life to God and just gave myself up, and I want to serve him and I want to live for him. My life now, there's actually like a purpose to my life. I actually feel like, you know, that like God has a plan and a purpose for me. Like I totally believe that. And I'm able to get past my fear and not stay stuck in it. and actually like move forward with my life. There's hope for the future. I feel like, you know, I actually have a shot in life, and like just the feeling of like being accepted and loved, like it's so cool. Like I just actually feel like free. It's so cool to see what he can do if you actually, you know, give it a shot.